Hello Leo, this is your April forecast. Boy, there's a lot happening in those heavens this month. What with Mars going retrograde and Mercury going retrograde towards the end of the month. So let's take a look at how it's going to play out for all you lovely Leos. On the 6th of the month, we've got Venus coming into your 9th house and a tremendous amount of activity happening in this 9th house for you this month, dear Leos. So the 9th house, this could be an opportunity for you to plan a trip, to go traveling. It's a wonderful time for do anything to do with higher education, higher learning, perhaps also giving a course. It's also very good for coaching, learning, mentoring, teaching, sharing information with other people. Very good for publishing something. If you've got a book, something you've been working on, or an article or a blog or something like that, wonderful time really for getting it out this month, particularly if it's something you've been working on for quite some time. Venus in the 9th, of course, can bring you that wonderful stranger from overseas, somebody who's very alluring and very attractive, and equally it could bring you an overseas friend, a friend from a very different culture to yours that you really get along with well. You really feel as though you're on just a lovely wavelength with this person. It's also a time to look at your beliefs. What are you believing? Are you waking up joyful? This is, in fact, the very joyful part of the chart. It's known as the Sagittarian part of the chart. So it's a wonderful time to look at your perspective on life, your perspective at everything that's happening to you. And how can you choose maybe a different perspective? Because remember, it's what one person sees as beautiful, yes, in a relationship. Sometimes you look at two people together and you go, my goodness, how could he like her, or how could she like him? Goodness, yes, you look at the surface. But that's what beauty is about. So how can you see more beauty in your life of everything that's going on in your life? Yes, that's what's being triggered here with this whole 9th house focus for you. On April the 6th as well, we've got Mercury coming up into this 10th house, shining a light on this, on you really analysing a little bit about what it is you're contributing to the world. The 10th house is very much your contribution to this world, what it is that is special about you that you're sharing out there. Yes, all too often people are somehow hiding all their gifts, all their wonderful things, or even don't know what they are. Well, this is a wonderful time, Mercury, and especially when it goes retrograde at the end of the month, is to really reflect on how many of your gifts are you giving to the world? How many of the inspirational things that you love doing? And are you willing to spend some time on looking at what brings you joy? Really making a study of it. Again, this is a study, this 9th house activity. And also it could bring you some important communication, some important news about work or a job or something you've been waiting for. That Mercury could also be a good time as well for some communication in the workplace that needs to take place that could really be very helpful to you. You may also be doing some writing to do with work. And on April the 7th, we've got a new moon happening in this 9th house. And the 9th house is also your quest for meaning in life. So an opportunity, a new moon here gives you an opportunity to really look at what gives your life meaning, what gives it substance. Yes, I mean, to me, my life gets meaning from sharing all the astrology with you. Yes, it's an excitement for me, that it's an inspiration to be able to share what I see astrologically in the heavens that I hope can be helpful for you. So for me, that's very nourishing. So what is it for you that gives your life meaning, that gives you a sense that you are doing something that's inspiring others, that's bringing joy, that's bringing pleasure wherever you go? That's what's being called for you with this new moon in your 9th. And it's also a wonderful opportunity to plan some new studies, something you'd like to learn, and also thinking about your thinking patterns. All too often we get into like a groove of thinking, and it's like anything, when you do something often enough, it becomes a habit and you do it robotically. So anything that you're not happy about in your life, start thinking about that and start saying, Where am I on automatic pilot? Where am I doing things where I'm just like acting out of rote? See if you can notice that, because that new moon can give you an opportunity to change how you're seeing your life, because it's all to do with a change of how you see something. You could even see somebody who's been annoying you for a long time and see them in a new light and go, hey, you know what? That person is really trying their best to be loving. They might not be doing something in a very loving way, but really they're crying out for love. And let me see if I can help somewhere. Let me see if I can look at this differently. And then on the 17th of March, we've got Mars going retrograde until June the 29th. So this would not be a good time to start a new project. It would not be a good time to start a hot and steamy romance, simply because what tends to happen during Mars retrograde, well, at least when it goes direct again, is that it just fizzles out, doesn't come to anything. And during Mars retrograde here in this 5th house, this is a good time for putting some renewed effort for those of you that want to start a business, get a business going, or already in business, some renewed effort into that area. Yes, Mars is about energy and renewing your energy, getting it going again. It's a wonderful time for resolving conflicts, for being able to see another person's point of view. So, because when Mars is retrograde, it's not moving as fast. Yes, it's got time to just not take such precipitous action and to go, all right, I'll stop, I'll breathe, I'll wait, I'll notice my frustration, and I'm going to sit with it. And I'm going to see if I can get that frustration just to dissipate. Because when you release frustration, like if somebody's annoying you, yes, why are they annoying me? Yes, why is it annoying me if somebody's up my ass behind me in a car? Yes, all right, well, maybe I could just, there are options there, yes? You don't have to put up with it, you could just slow down and let that person pass. So there are different ways of dealing with something that's irritating you. And I'm just saying, good time to look at ways to deal with frustration and anger during this Mars retrograde. And please don't buy anything mechanical if you can help it, because chances are it does break down or needs a new part. So if you do buy something mechanical, make sure you get all full warranty insurance, and then you'll be covered if it gets on fire or something happens to it. That's my best recommendation there. On April the 20th, we've got the Sun coming into this 10th house, shining a light on you and what, Leos, you're the sun itself, you're the epitome of the sun. So it's about you coming to shine. Yes, it's about you really shining yourself and being willing to be seen in some way in the world. Yes, because we learn through our relationships, and the more you are seen in the world, the more you are going to feel as though you're making a difference, you're contributing, you're enjoying what you're doing. But this could mean some good news about your career, it could mean a change in the direction of your career, and it could mean some more appreciation coming to you for all the hard work that you've been putting in. And Leos, one thing you do need is tons of appreciation. That lion does need a lot of stroking and telling how wonderful he is. On April the 22nd, we've got a full moon happening here in this 4th house. 4th house of home, of family. Now this could trigger a move, possibly, or a change in your environment. You might decide you want to sell, you might decide you want to move to another state, another city, another country. Something could come to a head to do with family, some changes in the family of some kind. But certainly it's shining a light for you on your environment, how you feel about that, and you may want to make some changes, hence it often indicates a move. But you don't have to move, it can also indicate that you just make some physical changes to your environment that feel very comfortable to you. And finally, last but not least, on the 29th of the month, Mercury goes retrograde in this 10th house. So a wonderful time to really reflect on, are you feeling as though whatever you're doing in your life is really bringing you joy, is bringing you pleasure? And if it's not, especially your work life, well, what can you do to change that? Don't come from an impossibility consciousness, come from thinking of new ways, because all this energy in the 9th house will give you an opportunity to think about things differently. Yes, there's many more studies about the brain happening, about various exercises that you can do, various foods that you can eat, all kinds of things that can bring the brain alive and really, again, bring more inspiration and joy into your life, because that's what this energy is wanting from you. There may be something you may have to repeat in the workplace, something that needs to be redone, reevaluated, realigned, may actually happen as well, connected with that Mercury retrograde up there in your 10th house. So there you have it, my lovely Leos. I wish you a wonderful month. It will be a very busy month. Yes, it's a lot happening, but just try to take a step back when you feel yourself really with a knee-jerk reaction, because that Mars retrograde will respond much better if you can do that. Do remember, don't start a lawsuit during this Mars retrograde, because chances are you'll lose it. During Mars retrograde, when countries have gone to war, and whoever's made that first shot, usually that country has lost. So really don't get into fights. It's time for resolving fights and seeing all the possible perspectives. Thank you very much for sharing, for commenting. Your comments and your feedback enable me to really improve these videos for you. Have a wonderful month. I'm sending you much love. Bye for now.